So hi Emma, how are you today?
Good. Yourself?
I'm fine.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, we had our meeting, our check-in meeting, and we were going over the key performance indicators, and there's 5 in here for you, and they're the annual ones, but we were doing quarterly check-ins. And there's one indicator that doesn't seem to be going too well in meeting the goal, and that's the one where in your position we need to have 50 to 60 education workshops done within the year for our funders around prevention. And you haven't gotten there yet. And I know the last time we talked that you hadn't even had any booked. So, the year's passing along, we're all going into our second month, and so we really need to move that forward. So I'd like to know from you what you would like your result to be by the end of the quarter, which is in another month and a half to 2 months.
I'd like to have a lesson plan that I could use repeatedly,
Okay.
so I don't have to change it. And
How many do you think you might like to have delivered?
I'd like to have probably 12.
Okay, so a dozen presentation. So if you're open to coaching session, we'll do it now and see how we can help you to move those expectations forward. So in your mind, in approaching the work, what do you feel that you need to do and what actions you need to take so that we can move forward?
Well, I've never done a lesson plan before, so I guess maybe if you could show me a layout or a format that you'd like me to follow, maybe even explain it a bit better and the importance of doing lesson plans.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize you had never done a lesson plan, and so, let's start there. Obviously, there's some skills that would be helpful for you to develop to do that and make it more comfortable. So, we're going to do these little boxes here, make a little bucket list, and we'll go through the process and let's work ourselves towards meeting what you'd like to do, that goal of having your lesson plan that you can use repetitively and have about a dozen presentations made. So what we can do is I can gather up and have the other staff gather up some of their lesson plans so that you can go through them. And I'm hearing you'd like to have someone to work with you and help you to explain why it's important. So I can get Sarah to work with you and explain, why we need a goal and we know what the resources are, so that when it's time to go to the schools, you have your plan ready and you can get your resources gathered, and the youth get the same message all the time.
Okay.
Because I know earlier you had said, well, why do I need a lesson plan? Can't I just go do it? And that's some of the reasons why. So we'll have Sarah go work with you. We'll have her go Monday, and she'll go in and go over some of what she uses in her presentations, so that will be able to help you to understand it. And you haven't done it before, so would you be open to taking some training, some formal training?
Yeah.
Because I know Coursera has really some excellent courses, specifically around teaching and creating lesson plans.
Okay.
So would you be open to doing some of the online training?
Yeah.
And we could set some time in the afternoons that you could spend 1 hour to 2 hours to go through the courses. So that would be helpful, and you're open to that? Okay, so what kind of action do you think, besides reviewing with Sarah and besides doing the Coursera training, what other actions do you think you could take in the next short while?
Maybe compile a contact list of the schools that might want me to do the presentation or the education setting.
Contact list for the schools.
And maybe do a draft of a lesson plan, write down what I would like to talk about.
Okay. Well, those are doable. Let's put some times on those. So this Monday right off, Sarah's going to show you, and I will get busy and provide you with the contact and to register for Coursera, and it goes at your own time, pace, so you can do that. So we're going to say within the next 2 weeks you'll do that. So by week 3, you should be in a position to draft the lesson plan and put the content that you want, and have a draft list of contacts for schools.
Sure.
Okay, so this is what we'll do is we'll put the timelines to that. So week 1 and 2 will be the training, review, then you'll work on your draft and start creating your contact list for the schools, and that will help you prepare your list for the year actually. And then we'll come back together at the end of the 3rd.
Yes.
So we'll come back like on July the 25th and see how things go. But you know, in the meantime, for sure, I want you to come back and check in with me, either call or email, and if you need something explained, that would be fine. So how do you feel if we go through this list? How will you feel about getting your lesson plan and starting to schedule the presentations?
Probably a lot more confident.
Okay, and so you mentioned you should hopefully by the end of this quarter, because there's another month and a half. If not, you know, at least looking towards to have a dozen of them either delivered and or scheduled already, right? Well, that's great. Is there anything else? Is there anything else we can look at? Is there any other resources you'd like to have? Or do you think that this will help you to be able to work towards that key performance indicator? So when we have our quarterlies, you'll feel a little better coming to us so we can discuss it.
No, I think that will work for me.
Well, listen, Emma, thanks for taking the time. And again, if there's anything, please contact me.
Sure.
Thanks a bunch. Have a good day.
Yes, you too.